Hello everyone, welcome once again to our channel. You are learning how to create a simple Power BI dashboard, and in this Power BI dashboard we are learning how to create exploratory data analysis on Shark Tank USA dataset. The dataset that we have got is from this Kaggle URL where you will find information related to each field, and we have created a simple dashboard using that data. In the dashboard, you can see the average TRP rating of episode, average ask amount, average offered equity, average valuation requested, average deal amount, total deal amount got, number of deals that were royalty deals, total number of all shark deals, how different type of filters were created to get this data. We have also created some, you know, calculated measures like deal close rate here. We we have number of rows, number of got deals based on filters. We also have a calculated table where we have tried to calculate deals per shark, and a result of that is this particular table here. And we have date wise analysis as well. So let's get started with this. So the data set that we are using in this tutorial is the Shark Tank US dataset, which is available on this particular Kaggle URL. Here you can see data set of USA American Business Reality television series where we have season number, startup name, episode number, etc. The data set basically looks like this. This is season number, episode number, pitch number, season start date, end date, original air date, industry, you know, of the one who was pitching the product, what industry did the product belong to, and pictures gender, pictures average age, city, state, were there multiple entrepreneurs, use 0 or 1, US viewership, original ask amount, original offered equity is also there, valuation requested. You can see the valuation based on original ask and original offered equity, whether they got the deal or not, total deal amount, total deal equity, deal valuation, etc. They also have information about whether different sharks were available, yes or no. So Barbara Corcoran was present or not, Mark Cuban was present or not, Laurie Greener, etc. So you can see. And if they invited some guest, so what was guest name? For example, Kevin Harrington, appeared as guest, Jack Foxworthy, etc. So this is the data set, and now we will simply start analyzing it. To start analyzing the data set, all you need to do is simply connect the Excel workbook and load the data, and it will appear here. What I have done, first of all, when you will download it from the original source, this Kaggle URL, you will see the data set is in CSV. I have simply removed some columns and just saved it as Excel. Columns like entrepreneur name, startup name, etc. If you want, you can keep them. For anonymity, I have just removed them. And now we will start building our heading first. So we will bring a text box here, and in text box, as we always do, we include some heading. So we have simply named it like this, and we'll simply create the size as 32. And here we can use a simple, font heading, color, etc. You can change the font code here, so font family accordingly. And here we'll just include a little bit of space. So this is data. We can go to effect and enable shadow here, and we can add some image to represent what we are doing. So here we have the insert tab from where we can add images. So just for reference purpose, I am just using this image here. and later I will fix its positioning, etc. Now, first thing that we have to do is whenever we are doing exploratory analysis, we have to consider, you know, different type of fields first, like what is something that we are using as a target. So here you can see, for example, things like US viewership, you know, and first we will focus on some numerical values like US viewership, original ask amount, original offered equity, valuation, etc. So we can create some cards using these simple metrics. So US viewership in US TRP rating in millions, right? So this is something that we are going to use. So let's say we want to tell what is average viewership rating. So we will simply create a card here, and in the card we will use, we can search from here viewership, and here instead of sum we are going to use average. So you can see this is average of viewership rating. This we have to add many cards here. First thing that we are going to do, we are going to use the small fonts. So let's choose 25 here. Okay, font size. We can make it bold. We can choose the color as per our theme. And this is simply average of US viewership. So here also we can just make it bold and color little bit darker. When we are selecting cards, because they will display the value, so we can highlight them using effect. We can enable shadow, visual border. We can select the same color for border, and some rounded corners like 12 pixel I use. So this is our card, and here we will simply rename for this visual as average of US viewership rating, right? And we can also write something like average TRP rating. Whatever heading you want to choose, you can select. This is average TRP rating, which is 4.98. Later when we will use some filters, like we have different seasons here, right? So when we will use those seasons as filters, so you will be able to analyze what is the season wise performance. So for that, let's say we have a slicer here, and here we will put the slicer on top. Slicer can be used to create filters, interactive filters for users. And we have the season, number here, right? So we will add the season number, and we will go to slicer setting. So here it is showing between, because this is a number. You can also say simply show us in a drop down, and here we have values. So first of all, value is something we can choose as per our color setting, and the header which is showing here, so we can also select the color for our header. So this is season number using as a filter. Let's say you will select 1, so you will see average TRP rating. If we go to 16, 15, right? So you can see we have seen like this is very high, like season 6. So that's how you will be able to see season wise rating. If you want to see season wise rating in a chart also, so we can do that as well. So in order to do that, what we can do, we can select a simple column chart here. Okay, let's create it in double width, and here we will use season number on x-axis, and on y-axis we will write viewership here, and instead of sum of viewership we can use average, right? And we can go to data label, and here we can enable data label, so you will be able to see the viewership. Column color is something that we can choose accordingly. So this is average rating. So we can customize the title, like average TRP per season. Okay, so here you can see, here also we can enable the effect as above. You can go to effect, shadow, visual border, color. I'll do this very quickly. So this is average TRP per season. Again, we can customize the heading here. So heading we will first make bold, use color and align center. So this is average TRP rating overall. This is average TRP per season. And if you want to use filters, you can select. So this way we can see that for season number 6 TRP is highest. Now whatever chart you need to, you can keep in the first dashboard. Obviously in data sets like this, when we are creating reports, we can create multiple dashboards as well. So first of all, we will call it deal EDA dashboard, and if we want to see season by performance, we can create another dashboard, but this is one. Now we have this original ask amount is also there. So for that, first of all, we'll copy this, and for ask amount, you can use either sum to see total ask amount, total amount that has been asked so far, and or you can write average ask amount. So you will be able to understand on an average what what was the total ask amount. So you can see 394 million is sum of original ask amount. You can also do average. So if you want to use average, use average. This is your choice, right? I am using average here so that we can understand what is average ask amount per different category. So which will simply use average original ask amount. Okay, and here, because the heading is bigger, so we can increase its size, and later we will decide whether we want to keep all of them of same size or not. But let's first create them. This is average original ask amount, and equity also that was offered. So for example, that was asked, right? Original ask amount and original offered equity. So we will also see equity. So where is the original? This is original offered equity, and here also we'll use average. You can see original offered equity is 13.4. Now there is one more thing. This value is in percentage, right? So for example, when you will go here, this is original offered equity. You can go to format and display the value in percentage. Okay, so here you can see 400 percentage, etc. If you want to show it as a percentage, then you have to do some settings here. Otherwise you can let it be. And so when we are using percentage, it is showing 400%, 1500%, etc., which is not correct. Now there are many ways of fixing this. So what if we go to modeling tab, we create, instead of creating a new measure, we will create a new column. So here, let's say offered equity. Okay, just writing it like this, and here we will select the original offered equity, and we can multiply it by 1 by 100, or we can simply divide it, whatever you want to do. And now we have this column. Let's see. So here we have 0.04, 0.15, etc. Now let's try to use it in percentage. So here you can see 4%, 15%, 20%. Okay, so now we can use this also. if you want to use as a percentage, or you can use, if you want to use it like this, you can select like that. So first of all, we'll get rid of this, and the calculated column that we have, let's try to use, and instead of sum we will use average. Obviously the value is same, but this is average offered equity. So here you can simply write, and obviously if you see any kind of errors in calculations, you can let us know, so we'll try to correct them. So now we have average TRP rating per season. Obviously this is something that we'll later decide whether we want to keep in this dashboard or not. This is average ask amount, and this is average offered equity by the entrepreneurs or the pitchers. And we also have evaluation. So this is valuation requested, right? Obviously it can be calculated also, but we will simply use it here, and we will say valuation requested. So on an average, what is the valuation requested? So you can see on an average the valuation requested 3.62 million. If you want to choose the unit, for example, in your call out value, display units is automatic, but if you want to show it in thousands or show it in millions or billions, obviously it will be zero. But if you want to show it, if the number is very big, then you can adjust that Power BI automatically shows the best possible value. So here is average valuation requested. Now we also have columns like got, deal, you know, here 1 or 0 is written. So if you want to simply calculate how many of them got deal, so we can also create a simple, card here, or we can also use a very simple pie chart here. So we can use a simple donut chart representing how many of them got deal and how many of them did not get, obviously. So first of all, we will copy the formatting here, and let's adjust the width. Here in legend, we will drag got deal. So it will show us 0, 1 and blank. Obviously there are some blank values. So if we want, we can say we don't want blank values, or let's see what happens here. And in values we want to see count, right? First of all, let's see we have different IDs or not. So you can see we don't have any ID here. Either we can create a calculated ID, or we can simply go to modeling, and we can say num rows. This will give us number of rows or number of pitches in total, and we will use count rows here. In count rows we have to write table name, which we are using as sharp tag. Now we will simply use it, and we will bring the num rows into value, and here you can see we have either 1 or 0. So as for analysis, better analysis, we will click this and filter out blank values. So where we have got deal is, so we'll use basic filtering and select all but blank, because there are 4 blank values, maybe because of some errors. So this will pretty much give us the idea that approximately 60% of them actually got the deal, and 39.24% of them did not get. And obviously for anything where we are using average, right, we can always use maximum also, like what is the maximum average valuation requested, right, minimum requested. So this is something, when you are describing the data, you can use these fields. And we we have also created videos where we have explained how to create dynamic measures. So you can use minimum, maximum, sum, etc. as filter here also in order to analyze. So I will, put that video description link, or put that video link in the description so that you can watch that as well and try to create that, because that will give users more control on, over analyzing the data. Now, since we have information of got deal, which we can also use in uh, you know, our KPI cards, but we are just using as a chart here. Now we will also consider the important thing, that is total deal amount, right? So this is the total deal amount. So the total investment amounts by sharks will be the sum of total deal amount. So we will simply go here and just create another copy of it, and here we will simply use total deal amount. Total deal amount. So we will use sum of deal amount. You can also give average, because we are showing average, but you can also show average ask, because we have used average of ask amount, so we can also use average of deal amount. This is what I am talking, like if you are using average, so you can keep average also, and if you are using sum, then you can use sum for these two, right? So you can see the average ask amount and actually the average of total deal amount is actually more than that. So this is very important to understand, like they have offered more on an average. So we'll just write average deal amount. Next, we will try to calculate average investment per deal in Power by using DAX. So let's identify the required columns, which will be total investment amount and number of deals. Count of got deal where value is yes. So here we'll use filters. So we can already see that count of deal yes is 844, and we can also see that total investment amount is total deal amount here. So the X formula will be, first of all, we'll create a variable total investment. This variable value will be the sum of total deal amount, which we just saw earlier. Then we will create another variable, that is deals count. When we have to apply filter, we can simply use calculate, right? So in calculate, we are going to count of got deal column, and then in calculate, the second expression is your filter, that Shark Tank got deal is equal to yes. So let me show you. If we simply want to calculate got deals, so we can go to modeling, create a measure. We can say num of got deals. Okay. So here we are going to use this formula. In calculate, you can see first you write your expression, that will be some aggregate function applied on a column. For example, count of Shark Tank got deals. We are using count, right? And second is your filter. You can apply multiple filters also, but here we are just using one filter, that, and remember Shark Tank is the name of our table here. So this way we are selecting column got deal. So this is total number of got deal count rows, and this is Shark Tank got deal is equal to yes. So if you will simply use it, and we simply display it in a card. So here we have number of got deals. Let's see what the error is here. So a simple mistake here is, instead of yes no, it will be 1 or 0. Okay, now we have 844. So in some data sets it was given as yes. Now when you will see, you have the exact data. This is one thing. So that's what we are using in variable. Okay, now let's try to create this formula and see what do we get. and here we are going to modeling tab, creating a new measure, average investment per deal. Now what we are doing after creating variables, two variables we have created in two different lines here, you can see, and we are returning if deals count. That means if deal counts is greater than 0, obviously 844 is greater than 0. It will simply calculate total investment divided by deal counts and blank. So in if logic test, result if true, result if false. Okay, if false, we will get blank, and this way we can simply create another column here, and that will give us average investment per deal. So let's say average investment per deal, which is again the same thing, but this is how you can calculate that as well. Now many of you might wonder why are we writing so many DAX queries when we can do it directly, because some student requested this, and this will help them in understanding different concepts that we are applying here. So this can help you in further calculations as well. And since we have some space here, we can simply use total also here. So instead of this, we'll use sum, or we can use maximum also, and we will rename it as total deal amount. Now here we also have other important variables. Now as we calculated average of average investment per deal, we can also calculate deal closed rate. Okay, so for example, what is the deal closed rate in percentage? So we will again count total pitches, that is count the pitch number. So after further investigation, we can see there is a unique pitch number available here. So to calculate deal close rate, we will use count of total pitch numbers, or this is totally count of number of rows, and then we are getting another variable deal closed, like count of got deal is equal to 1, same as above, previous example, and then we are returning if total pitches, okay, is greater than 0, and deal closed divided by total pitches into 100. This is the easiest way to calculate percentage value. And now what we can do, either we can use this card and display it here. So here let's say deal close rate is 60.59, which we can already see here. But what we can also do, we have different type of other categorical variables like industry and features gender. Okay, let's see, we want to see deal close rate by gender. Okay, so by features gender. So what we can do, we can simply copy this. Okay, and we can add this chart here. So we can use a simple pie chart here, and here instead of got deal, we can use gender here. So the features gender, and inside number of rows we can use our calculated value, that is the deal close rate. Okay, now this is deal close rate percentage. So you can simply see here that in many of the cases which is gender is not specified, but sometimes it's a mixed team, sometimes there are female and there are male. So you can see, for example, if there was a female pitcher, 24.65%, male 57.37, which is 22.19, okay, percent of total deal, and you can see the data here. So this way you can apply it on different type of categorical columns also. Next we are trying to calculate deals per shark. So for that we have simply used go to modeling tab, click on new table. So we are creating a calculated table here, and here we are using the shark name. So in calculated table, these will be the rows, So every row that you see here will be the row, and in row this will be the value of first column, this will be the value of second column. So here we are using count rows. In count rows we are using filter. So when we use count rows, so you have to write the name of table. So in table we are using filter. So basically filtering the table. And while filtering the table, we select the table name and then the filter expression that, for example, Barbara Corporate investment amount greater than 0. And these columns are given like this. You can see like equity, investment account, investment amount, investment equity, etc. And similarly, we are using these other rows, right? So in one square bracket, your you will write two arguments or parameters. One name of that particular shark, and here you will use count rows like this. I will provide this formula as well, and now the result will be something like this, where you will see value 1, value 2. So we can rename value 1 as shark name and value 2 as deals. So now once we have created deals per shark here, so we can also create a matrix chart. Okay, a matrix chart or a table chart can be created. So first of all, we'll copy the formatting here. And here in rows and columns, we have to add values. So, so in rows, we will add the shark name, and in values, we will add the numerical thing that is deals. Okay, and this way we can show the data. We can adjust the height, and now we can click on the table. We have different options now. So here we have grid, whether you want the horizontal grid, your style preset like you want bold header. Okay, if you are selecting the bold header, then you have different type of options as your column header, background color, right? So you can also select that your row headers, background color. Let's say we select something like this. So this way you can style your table, and here you also have different type of options like displaying grand totals or not, like this is subtotals, you want to display them or not, column header you want to display or not, right? And you also have values. For values you have different type of options, which values to row groups, but in this case it is not possible, but you can try these different type of options, right? So you can also add row grand total, which will not be applicable here. Now we also have cell element, which is showing sum of deals. So we can enable some background color, and you can see people will higher number of deals or total deals will be like this. Okay, so you can see the color here. Now you can do one more thing here. Instead of sum of deals, we can simply rename it as number of deals. This is number of deal, and this is our simple metric chart. This will also be interactive. You will can click on it to arrange it in ascending or descending order. There is one more thing that you have to understand, that when we have created this table, obviously this is a calculated table, so we have simply converted the different columns into rows here. So here we don't have any type of relationship between these two tables. So let's say we click here or we click on it, so this will not be, you know, filtered. So that is something you have to do, understand. This is to overall data. So for this we will create the second part where we are going to explain this with the help of unpivoting the columns in Power Query Editor. So that is something that we are going to do next. But right now we will focus on other things, like we have industry also, and we have total deal amount. So we can also see total deal amount received per industry. and for that we can click here and we can create a simple column chart here. And here first of all we are going to use format painter to copy the formatting. First select this format painter, and here on x-axis we are going to bring the industry, and on y-axis we are going to bring the total deal amount. Okay, and here you can see if you go by industry, so you will be able to see that sum of total deal amount by industry is maximum in case of food and beverages, and then second is lifestyle home, third is fashion beauty, etc. Next we also have a column saying royalty deals, where we have values as 1 or blank. Okay, so obviously if we try to do simple thing, if we try to copy this and we have to calculate total number of royalty deals, so we have to apply a simple filter that where deal value is 1, but here if we simply add, so we select this and we simply add it here, sum of royalty deals, so you can see this is actually the number of royalty deals, because here sum of royalty deal is all, right? It will only sum where its value is 1. So this is simply number of royalty deals. Okay, now we also have features state information here, so we can use a field map for example. So let's first of all copy the styling. So in pictures state we are going to, first of all in location we are going to bring the pictures state here, and where this will select the state for us. Here we can show some controls. So for example we can show zoom buttons and lasso, geocoding culture, let's say ENUS. Okay, we can zoom here. And now there is one more thing that we can do. When we are selecting in a state, let's say in tooltips, we are going to bring the total deal amount. So we will bring the total deal amount in tooltip, and here if we will go to any state, so you will be able to see the state name for now, but we have to make a change here. In field colors you can see the default value is this, but like you can show all, and here you will see for blank, for AK, etc. So obviously because we have some blank values, so first thing in filter, I say we say picture state is select all but not blank. Okay, so this way we are selecting only valid state names, and here in color we will go to effect, in, instead of rule we will do gradient. Now in gradient we will use the total deal amount as our main metric, and we will say if total deal amount is minimum, show it in light color, and for highest values show it in this blue color. If we select OK and you will zoom in, so you will be able to see like in California we have the highest amount, right? So this way you can adjust the formatting. We can also add a middle color like this. Okay, so it will be a yellow color or any other color that you can choose. You will be able to see those yellow colors also. And let's say we want to select, even for if it is a minimum value, then also we want to select a dark color so that it's visible on the map. So this way you will have the sum of deal amount by pictures state. Okay, and you will be able to see higher values, lower values, and values that lie in the midpoint. So this is something that you can do by using the map chart, and this is how you can apply the formatting here. We can also see in some cases we have the loan amount, right? So this is total deal equity, total deal amount, deal valuation. So deal equity here is also given. We can, like as we have done for average offered equity, we can also show average, average of total equity that is given. So total deal equity. So we can also copy this and say average total deal equity. So because here we just want to show this thing, and we will say average. This will be average total deal equity. Okay. Now we have other columns, like we have a column called loan, when loan was given or deal has conditions. So we have different type of cases here. Okay. So let's say what is loan, total amount of loan given. So we can also bring it here, and here we will simply use loan, and this will be, so this is showing as first loan. So let's see, when we are selecting loan, the format is like text value here because it has blank values. So either we can make a change here, or what we can do, we can go to transform data, and here we have loan column. So first let's go to the loan column, and here we will simply duplicate. So we are going to duplicate the column. Let's keep it as loan copy, and first of all here I will click and replace errors, or we can fill values. I have simply changed it type to, so using change type I have just changed this type to decimal number. I'll close and apply, and now I will have a new column, loan copy. Let's see. So this is sum of loan now. Okay. Instead of sum of loan copy, we will simply say total loan given or something like that. So this is that value. Now we also have a column called number of sharks in deal. So here we have, so maximum is 5, right? So we can also find out total number of all shark deals, because that is kind of a big deal for them. So we can copy this, and here we will use number of sharks in deal. So it is going to show us some value, but I will use count value. The count will be 844, which is which you can see here, or deal. Now we will try to use one more thing here. Obviously we can use filter here also, like show item when value is less or more, but let's try to do one more thing. Go to modeling, let's create a measure, all shark deal, as a count rows, filter, and we will not use it, but we will say number of shark in deal is greater than 4. You can also say equal to 5, but this will also do. So, and actually we have to calculate this in our second table. So first we'll delete from model, because these two are not linked. If they were linked, that would have been a better thing. We are going to create a same measure here. Use OK, and now let's collab the filter, and here we are going to bring all sharks deal. So there are 6 total all shark deals. So we can also check from here just to verify. So number of sharks in deal, and you can see there are 6 filtered rows. So this way we have deals data, and let's say we want to utilize the space here, so we simply want to use one more filter here. So or what I can do, I can simply copy the season name filter from here, and we can simply, instead of this, we can use city. Obviously there are a lot of things remaining here, like we can do year and date wise analysis also, and here you can see the city wise data as well. So you will be able to see, if you want to see from different cities, you can see the data when you are selecting that. So in these filters, what you can do, you can always give option to show select all, so that one can go and select all after getting through with the filters. And here we can simply go and enable a simple shadow effect, so that you can see the filters easily here. So this is the first part, and in the second part we will try to create more graphs. For example, we have date here, right? So we have date wise data. Whenever we have date wise data, we can select a line chart, and in line chart on x-axis we can bring the air date. We have season start, season end, but since we want to see for each deal, we have this value here, and then we can, on y-axis, we can try to bring total deal amount, asked amount, etc. So for example, total deal amount. On secondary y-axis we can bring total deal equity. Okay, and we can select a line and clustered chart here. So this is sum of total deal amount and sum of total deal equity by year. We can simply bring the filter and heading here also, and since here we only have one chart, so we can simply adjust its effect. For example, here we can enable a shadow, a visual border, which we will select the same color as we have selected, not background, sorry, but the border color. And since this is title, so we can use a different color and alignment for title. And this is simply date wise analysis. And here we have information of year only. But if you want to see more data, for example, you can click here and then you can drill by quarter data, monthly data, daily data. So you can do these things. So this is our second chart, and obviously we are going to create more visuals which will affect date wise. This will be in the second part of it. So initially you can go with it and try to create a simple chart like this, and then try to analyze it, and then you can add more visuals here as well in order to see data in a better way. Let me adjust the legend position here, bottom center. Now it would be better. This is our first part. Thanks for watching it. If you like this tutorial and would like to learn more Power BI, learn more DAX queries, etc., so please subscribe to our channel, because on our channel you will find data analysis related tutorials, business intelligence related tutorials, which you will see in our playlist. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.